Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with another Scrap Squad lift. I forget which number this is, but I'll look it up and I'll have it in the description box. I think it might have been one of the more recent ones, maybe even yesterday's. And I'm going to do something a little different. I've done something with triangles of paper, in the last couple of days. I have no idea when. And so I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of a variation, and I'm gonna use, well, I'll show you in a minute. You may or may not remember that I had cut the last time I used bleeding paper strips. I had cut them into 6-inch lengths. I cut the 12-inch length in half. So I'm going to use those and kind of let those splay out from the, it's not going to form a half circle, but it'll be close enough. And I have all of these triangles left over from the last triangles I cut when I was using them up against the big color wheel in the color study. So they're all color study, and they've got a lot of colors, so I may match up or I may mix up some of the colors, but I will use them somehow in conjunction with those strips. My photos are of a street artist doing some graffiti in New Caledonia on our South Pacific cruise a few years back. And the story is about how we didn't know anything at all about New Caledonia other than it was referenced in a sitcom called McHale's Navy about the war. And that's actually, we found out, because it played an important part in the war. And so we didn't know that it was very heavily influenced by the French, and that there is a tradition of very fine French cuisine, including very French cheese making, local cheese making, and wine making. They actually, there's kind of a national pride in, they call themselves the Paris of the Pacific, I think. And it was amazing that one of the options for a ground tour included a wine and cheese tasting. And it was actually kind of a class in why this particular wine was suited to that particular cheese. So it was really, really nice. Well, after that, he took us out on a bus to see how the New Caledonians handle abandoned buildings. Instead of just letting them decay and become a blight in the neighborhood, they actually encourage, and I don't know if that means pay or just allow, street artists to decorate the sides of the buildings with graffiti. And this brightens up the neighborhood, and these sites become very popular with tourists and also with the locals. And the buildings tend to sell faster, and people come in and purpose them, and oftentimes leaving the graffiti there because it's now become kind of one of the features of the neighborhood. So this was just fascinating to me. So we actually watched a street artist in progress who's very early into the piece, the part that was right here, kind of spraying things, and then he would later go back and do detail that would make it look more like this, where you see the black lines. So I got a couple photos, and I don't think I've ever scrapped them. Maybe in a Project Life form when I was doing kind of the photos of the day that day, but they've never had a feature page. So I have used this Vicky Bouton packaging that was behind a stencil to mat these because it kind of seemed appropriate. And I have a variety of embellishments that I have chosen from Bramble Fox Perspextives. There's quite a lot of journaling on this one, so I'm going to call it Our Story and kind of try to Put some of these things there. Because it's Paris of the Pacific, I thought an Eiffel Tower would be good. All of this is from 2 or 3 different Rosie studio collections. I'm going to use a a panda bear flare, just simply for the heck of it. It's cute. It has a heart. We were in love, whatever. And I'm going to use a Christmas flare that says joy to the world, because in fact, this guy is bringing joy to New Caledonia and therefore joy to the world, right? So the only thing that worries me is all these colors and all these colors are really bright, and a lot of the embellishments I've chosen here are a little bit more muted, but I'm going to try to vary the placement of them so that I get a few brights in there. I've got some brights here left over from my last video, and I have some stuff here that I didn't use in the last video. I do know that I want to use these buildings because it's kind of about what you do to buildings. I should have actually drawn some graffiti on those buildings, right? So I'll kind of put that there. And I have some brightly colored bits from this sticker sheet from Color Study, including these. And I thought these might be interesting placed around among some of the more muted things. So that's my idea. And as far as planning and designing goes, that's about as far as I've gotten. So you know as much as I do right now about what I'm fixing to do. So this is a 12 by 12 sheet of Vicki Boutin's mixed media paper. I'm gonna kind of maybe cut it in half there, like this, and I'm gonna spray the bottom half with water. I want the top half to stay dry. And then I'm gonna place these things on here random. I'm not gonna do rainbow order. I kind of want some things to contrast with one another along here. I may not have enough space to do all of them. I guess I could do that one like that one like that. Maybe, what the hey, let's kind of figure this here. Again, lack of forethought and planning here. Let's see, the green can come down, and then I can have 3 on each side of it. And so I think that's possibly okay. Let me just kind of pull them off to the side and put the green one up here. And let me get my little spray bottle. Maybe this could stand to go up a little bit. Giving me a little bit more room for this splaying that I'm going to try to do. Okay, I'm going to do this. And because I want these colors to be a little bit more muted than they are sometimes, I'm going to spray the top of them. I may have kind of press it down in there, and if I spray the top, it will kind of come out a little bit. Let that go off the page like that. Let me kind of spray those. When I pull it up, the colors won't be as vivid. Get that one there. And then this one. You can see it bleeding there. And I've got this really bright one is one of the ones that'll be the least, the smallest size. Just a little spritzing there. Now, let me get my paper towel ready to, can you tell I've used these paper towels for blotting splatters? That's what I do all day. That's my job. I blot splatters. Okay, so let's go here. That's kind of interesting. And the blue sort of did bleed in with it. There we go. It's kind of coming out wonky, which is what I wanted. I didn't really want absolutely, squared off kinds of things. This one needs a little bit more down here, right? Don't you think? And I can do that by spritzing it there and kind of okay, because I like that color and I don't want to lose it. Okay, so this is probably now spread onto my mat. It has, but that's okay. I can do this and wipe it up. I've probably got some yellow over here. Now let me take this off, and now I'm going to do something that will remove a little bit of the vivid color there. And I don't usually want to do that, but in this case, I kind of do. Let me kind of go this way here. And I'm going to blot some spots that are definitely wet. Kind of do this, and then we'll see what we want to do the rest of the way. Okay, so let's say we have this pink spot right here. Let's say we dry fit that there. What else do we have? We have this dark blue, so it could kind of go right there. We have this yellow, so I could kind of put it, I'm going to maybe overlap the dark blue there, and then I can kind of slice down the side there. Let's see if we have a green. Yes, we have a green. And I'm going to put it there. Orange. Do we have an orange? We do have something that is similar to an orange. So that can go there. I don't think we have a teal. And I think what I used before in place of the teal was a stripe. And I'm having trouble locating that stripe. Here we go. I think I used this because it had some teal in it. I could do that. And then this kind of purplish could go right here, and I could cut it off there. Seems reasonable. I kind of like this and would love to use it somewhere, but maybe not on this page. Okay, so now I'm going to use foam to adhere the triangles. And I'll use something to, I may cut those off, but we'll see. We'll have to see how we build the photo cluster from there. This one, I'm just gonna kind of go like this. This is a very, shall I say, loose interpretation of the original, but I'm gonna just fill it with a lot of, what I got out of the original is the conglomeration of embellishments, all, you know, kind of along that horizontal line. So I'm good with that. I love how that blue has kind of bled into the pink there. Oh, let's see. Every time I turn a piece of the color study paper over, I'm always sorry that I'm not using that side of things. There is a teal paper in this collection. I saw it just this morning, and I don't know why I didn't pull some of it for here, but I don't mind that this triangle is striped because that teal is kind of well represented there. Let me see where this needs to go. I need to know how much of it I'm leaving off to be cut. And it's lopsided. That's just kind of the way I rolled on this one. And it's not meant to be perfect. Okay, so the next thing that I need to do is place the photos. And this upper part of the building is kind of not so interesting. So I'm kind of gonna do them wonky and overlapping in that area. So this one's gonna overlap that one. And so I'm gonna try to do my foam way up at the top. And that leaves me some overlapping room right there. And I'll put this one straight and let that one kind of be pointing up. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue it on, realizing that I have some little tails of triangles that are not necessarily behaving at the moment, and that's okay, because I think we're going to cover them all up. Now, I have to remember that I want my journaling over here, and I'm going to back this on a piece of pattern paper. Let me see what color I want to use. Oh, you know what? Why don't I see if there's enough of that? Here we go. There's enough of that. I'll back it on the same stuff that I backed the photos. And I kind of like this collection of colors there. I just typed this out. I didn't want to blow a piece of photo paper, and I know this is not acid free, and it could cause, some deterioration of the photo. And I used to be kind of a stickler about such things. And I know I want this here. And what I thought I would do, here, I'm going to change the subject now. I'm going to glue this on just at the bottom so that I can slide this in underneath. But to determine where I want to do that, I'm going to do this. It's going to obscure, the word love is going to obscure some of the writing on here, but it's meant so that you can kind of pull it up, and I may put a tab on it. Let's see, I think I have some tabs in here. No, not really, but if I can't find one before I finish filming, I will I'll do it after off camera. Let's see what we have here. I've got this yellow heart that could kind of be just adhered to the back like that, and then you could use that as a tab to pull it up. So why don't we do that? Really, that's not a good idea to do at the moment. Let's just get on with the task at hand. I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to put the glue on this bottom part right here. And this glue sticks so well that that will be enough to actually hold that journaling block. So I'm going to do this. Right there. I'm going to press that down, and then I'm going to take this out for the time being and kind of let that, a little bit of glue's kind of coming out around. It's not, it wouldn't make a huge difference in the look, but I can see it now, and I don't want it on there, and that's not a good tool for that. Sadly, the best thing for that is my tweezers, because I have control over them, but they, you know, you really don't want glue on your tweezers, and I'm not the best at going back and cleaning. Okay, so this is adhered. Let's see where I want the title to be. And the title is also a fairly muted color. It's kind of a pale pink. So I kind of want to put it over something that, maybe here. There, okay. It's a variety of colors, all of which kind of show it off. And I'm explaining to myself, I actually recolored. I had two of these, and I recolored one to be this kind of color, fuchsia pink. And I wasn't thrilled with it. And I thought, well, with all of these colors, I really need to kind of reduce the amount of that fuchsia pink anyway. So maybe what I need, this sort of reads as a neutral when you put it with bright colors. And I kind of tested that. I put it up next to a lot of the color study papers, and it came off as a really nice neutral. And it's flat rather than shiny, so it just has a really nice, I don't know, sophisticated look to it. And yes, I know this isn't a sophisticated layout that I'm putting together here. Okay, let me get this facing the right way so I put the glue on in the right place. And the reason I'm putting this in early is because I'm going to kind of build all the other stuff around it. I want it to be featured, and so I'll leave this space up there. And I thought I'd put this little book down here, maybe build a little cluster here. So there'll be kind of a cluster here, clusters all on either side of that, and then this may stand on its own, or I may find some other stuff to go around. I'm going to put some glue on those little tiny hearts because my other one, it was a little bit weak right there, and I don't want those to break off. Okay, now, a lot of these are going to have foam behind them, so I'm going to cut a big strip of foam from which I will cut smaller bits. Let me do this Joy to the World. I thought would be really nice, kind of right up close to the painter, the artist, because he's bringing joy to the world. So, and then I can put other things around that. Because we were on a ship, I'm going to be doing I'm going to be using an anchor. Do I want? Oh, I know what I want. This is where I want to put the buildings. This is a birthday collection called Just Saying, and I've used it for anything but birthdays so far. I haven't scrapped a single birthday. I have a birthday to scrap, mind you. I just haven't printed the photos or decided on the pages yet. I'm going to put one of these down flat, and I'll actually, I think I want the taller one to be flat. Actually, that's not true. And I wanted to, if it overlaps there, I think that's a nice look. So let me do this. I'll get it to overlap, and I'll have some support for it over here, like that. There. And then let me get this one just really close to it, not necessarily overlapping. And I've got some wet glue at work here, and I've also got the foam a little too close to the edge there. Okay, so that's good. And then I've got I like in the original, I love these palm trees. And palm trees would have been appropriate here because there were palm trees all over New Caledonia, the area that we saw. Let me kind of see, how about that? And what I like about that is it will really give it some dimension. It's covering this roof, which I don't want. So I'm gonna do it that way, and there it's kind of stuck there. So now I want something with some height over here, And I can do this like that. Let me do a fairly large flower. Okay. I have this little frame that's kind of a perfect little jumping off point for an embellishment cluster. So let me get that in place. I wish I had a wine glass, and I know in one of these Rosie Studio collections there is a wine glass, and I'm not okay. And there's a ship. Okay, there's a cruise ship. There's Big Ben. Let's see if there's a picture of a wine glass. This is Let's Get Away. There's a cocktail, but no wine glass. I will reserve the right to go hunting through my stuff for a wine glass and add that as a nod to the fact that we went to a wine and cheese tasting. Let's see. I'm sorry for the time I'm spending doing this. I could have sworn I saw one, but you know, I'm just making it up. Okay. Let's see if there's one in here. This is some stuff from Jen Hadfield. There are some people in the original, so I can put a person there. Let me see if I have any more people. I do have, but they're female. Both of the persons I have are female, and poor John, he was there. I've got a thing that says true story, and I've got but no wine glass. So, but a few things I might be interested in using. Okay, I'm gonna go with this. That's kind of cute. I'm just gonna let that stay there. I'm gonna put this right here, and I may layer it underneath the girl, but glue it down right on top of the point of that yellow triangle. So I think some of these things need glue. So let me get busy doing that. Where did my tweezers go? Okay. I'll have that at a slightly different angle from that photo. I'll put her there. I'm gonna put this guy under her. Let's see if that can work. You know, the placement isn't exactly the way I had it, but I can make it. I can put the Eiffel Tower off at an angle. I'm going to do the cruise ship maybe right there with some foam. I think the bright colors in the photo kind of make up for some of the more muted colors, and there's a fair number of brights in there. I can do this maybe right here. I think that would be pretty there. Okay, that gives me some height over here. I love this little gecko that has the different paint. So I'm gonna layer the gecko right there. I'm just gonna put some glue on. Well, actually, I'm gonna put a little bit of foam under there so it's not like he's biting the photo just looking at it. Okay, there. And I've got this panda bear that could maybe sneak in over here. It's kind of cute. And it means absolutely nothing. It's, as they say, apropos of absolutely nothing. And yet, you'll see him kind of peeking out there, and you never know what that guy's going to paint. The next day after we left, he might have painted some panda bears, So, there. And then let me do, there's another. Oh, here's a cafe. Okay, so the cafe is going to go over here, kind of in conjunction with those buildings that are there. Yay! And I've got this girl's raising her hand, so she could be tossing a hat, right? And I've got a hat for her to toss. Do that, and then I need something right back there, and I'm thinking that may be where we might wanna a flower. Let me cut a little bit off that guy. There we go. Okay, and I can use some foam on it. I'm loving this. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the most, the stop on the cruise that we booked it for. It wasn't anything that we actually knew anything about. Okay, see, it looks like, because that just kind of looks like it's out of proportion, but I'm going, if I stick it over here on a little bit of foam, the hat is a little Parisian to me. Silly American has strange notions of I'll just put it up there like she's really tossed it up in the air. Let's see. Would that look good there, or do I just need a pink flower? Maybe a pink flower with one of these leaf sprigs. And which leaf sprig do I want to go with? We'll go with this one. And I will. I have little backings from the foam tape. Oops, I've got another piece of a flower that I may want to use somewhere. But I need to look in my little tray and see what all I've got there. I'm trying to get it under there. This one, I'm now not necessarily liking that. So given this, what can I put in there that I would like? Maybe an orange flower? Kind of right there. I really don't think that's what I want to do. I keep trying to use this word love, but I've got the word love up here. Let's see what we have here. I've got a bow. I have a balloon carrying a spotted cat. Let's take this up and this, and let's see if we can drop the spotted cat here and then leave this open. Because, you know, I'm sure in New Caledonia somewhere there is a balloon dropping a spotted cat. Maybe we'll have it here. And that could be why she's so excited, right? Okay, let me see if I can get, I still want to work that pink flower into something, but I'm not sure where. I thought I would put this right in there. And I have this already on some foam, and it could actually close out that side by kind of overlapping the title there. Okay, I have this little potted plant, which maybe could go right there. I've got a couple of coffee cups, little coffee cups that might sub in if I can't find a glass of wine. I had a kit or collection or whatever you call it from Cheeky Studios, I think, that had a bunch of wine-related embellishments. And there was a prompt, or you got points for including things to do with wine or coffee or something or whatever on Calvin Ball. And I think I must have used all of the the things I had, because I think that little box is empty. Okay, so what are some things that I have left? I have this little thing of hearts that could kind of be, it's like a tab. Ooh, that's the tab I could put on the, there we go. That's the tab I'm going to put for the journaling. And I'm going to use something else up there. I actually should have put it, it looks better when you have things kind of off to one side, but for functionality, to pull the journaling up, I really need it to be, let's see, the paper. Okay, so I want to leave it that way because I have to take a photo, and I want that on there. I've got this little bow that I thought I might use over in the yellow part. And I can kind of glue it to the title, and it looks fine there. I've got this rainbow, which I think could, oh, this is gonna really finish out that corner. It'll cover that it'll kind of cover the edge where this bit ends, but it has that exact color pink in the top arch of the rainbow. So, yay! Okay, let's see what else we have. We have the anchor, which I think may be a bit much. Maybe, how about we kind of put that there and layer the anchor over it and under the book. Okay, I like this little pop of black. Let me put something, I'm going to put some foam. I'll let it stay anchored by the book, but I want some dimension, so I'm going to just kind of stick that under there. And I'll do this. That makes it kind of a cute little cluster. I've got this Good Vibes Only, which doesn't really need to go on there. I have this flower and kind of foiled leaf. Don't need that either. That's a Rosie Studio, so let me put it in a different place. I've got these two leaves, which maybe would have been good someplace else, but I don't think they're needed. Those are Rosie Studio too. I'll figure that out. But I kind of do want to use the cloud up there. Let me kind of do that. Okay, I think I'm done. Let me cut that off so you can see what that's gonna look like when that's done. I'm not gonna add any splatters. I had thought I might use some black splatters, but I think I'm not going to do that. Let's see. I'll cut this off kind of like that. Oops. And that's what happens when the paper gets wet. And I will cut this one off. Like that. And then my cloud is moving around. I want to put it up there so it looks like the hat is in the cloud. Ah, you know what? I can just move it closer so that the hat's actually hanging off the cloud. That's kind of cool. One should try to get the cloud on there straight. And in order to fit a prompt at the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, I'm using non-traditional colors. This is a rainbow in blues and greens, and it's non-traditional colors. Okay, this isn't sticking, so I need some glue. And I may need some on this button as well. Where can I put this? I don't want to put it over here because I've got that rainbow. Maybe right here. There we go. I could have put it up here, but I kind of like it better there. And I've got a little bit here to cut off, because that's going to keep me from getting into my album. Okay, I think I'm done. I like the little tab up there, and thank you for watching. I'm so happy to have gotten those photos and that memory scrapped. So I'll see you for my next Scrap Squad lift. I had some coffee afternoon, so I'm expecting that I'll be up late tonight. So, in fact, I'll be up for 3 days. And so I'll see you. Bye.